Hey guys, it's Charles with PremiumBeat. In this quick tip tutorial, I'm gonna show you guys how we can remove yellow cast from our footage to get cleaner looking whites. Now you can do this trick in any video editing program you have where you have the option to kind of remove color via saturation. I'm gonna be showing you guys how we can do this in After Effects. Works very similarly also in Premiere Pro. And this just works really well to give you that kind of really modern, clean, white look on your image. And it can also be very effective if your footage is a little bit off on the white balance, how you can kind of clean that up as well and get better results. So let's just go ahead and jump in. Let me show you with this first example. So you can see I've got some footage here of this old tape deck, and you can see the grays have a little bit of a yellow tinge to them, even though the whites here look pretty clean. This footage looks a little bit dated almost, and that's partially probably due to some yellowing that may actually be on this kind of VHS player itself. But let me go ahead and just show you this trick. So I'm gonna select my footage, then I'm gonna come here to Effect. We're gonna come down to Color Correction, and we're gonna select Lumetri Color. And what we wanna go to here is under the Curves tab. And we wanna see, you're gonna have these curves tabs in here. We have RGB curve. We wanna go to the hue versus saturation curve because we actually wanna desaturate specific colors for this. And in our case, what we wanna target is yellow. That's often gonna be the culprit a lot of times on digital footage. By removing some yellow, you're gonna get a cleaner look on the whites, and it's also gonna probably fix some white balancing issues because that can often be a problem by making things look a little too orange. But let's go ahead and scroll down here for a second. And what I wanna do here on this kind of color line, I wanna go ahead and click where the orange is. Let's do another click here where the green is. And then we wanna have our middle one be right here where the yellow is. Let me just fix this real quick, even that back out. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna desaturate just the yellows, and look at what's gonna happen over here on the white balance of our footage. So I'm just gonna pull this down to desaturate that. And now you can see, just by pulling this down about halfway, look at how much cleaner the color on this image looks. It looks like the white balance has been fixed, and we just get a much better, more modern, clean image. Look at what happens when I turn this on and off. You can see the difference there. So initially, you might think, hey, this footage is perfectly white balanced, looks great. But you can see how much cleaner it now looks with us just removing some of the yellows from this footage. Again, using that hue versus saturation effect. Now let's go ahead and look at another example. Here's some footage. It's again, mostly white footage here on this. And you can see this is probably filmed in like the morning, and maybe this is intentional to kind of have this orange color cast on everything, kind of like the morning lights coming through a window here. But let's say we wanted this to have that really clean white image on it. And you can see as I scroll through here, it's just kind of putting some powder inside of a glass. But let's say I want to have that really clean, white, modern look on this. Let's do the same trick here. So with our footage selected, come here to Effect. We're gonna come down to Color Correction and Lumetri Color. Let's go over to the Curves tab and find the Hue versus Saturation. And let's go ahead and click in the middle of the orange. Do another click here kind of in the greens. And let's just go ahead and target the yellows. And let's go ahead and pull this down. And depending on the footage will depend on how much you want to desaturate. You can see right there, it's pretty good, pretty desaturated, but I could push this all the way to the extreme, just pull this all the way down. And you can see kind of what this does. And you'll notice the hand here is not really being affected by that, even though there's kind of some yellow, maybe some reds and oranges on the hand. But that's kind of the beauty of how we're targeting this at that most immediate point there for the yellows where we're desaturating it completely, but everything else kind of has a nice kind of fall off here. So it kind of falls off that yellow naturally, and we just get this really clean white image. And you can see now when I turn this on and off, look at the difference there that's making just with this quick tip we're using with Lumetri Color. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a few more examples. So here's kind of some real estate footage here with like this white interior, and you can see this looks pretty good if you just saw this naturally like this, but there is some color cast kind of happening on the whites here. And if I wanted to give this again that more modern look, you can see I've applied Lumetri Color and I've already pulled down the yellows here. Let me turn this on, and you can see the difference that makes. Really notice it on the walls and kind of the color cast on the couch there, how it cleans that up. Let's take a look at another example here. This one is a little bit more subtle. You can see we kind of have some yellowing here around the lamp. And if I go ahead and turn this on, you're gonna notice it particularly down here kind of on the wall as well. So it's very subtle on this one. So there's before, and there's after, just a little bit cleaner whites there again. And you'll notice it didn't desaturate the yellows here on the shoes because of how we're kind of targeting that. So again, that's nice. So you're not just desaturating everything that's yellow. Here's another example where we're kind of getting that color cast coming in through this window. And you can see just giving us a little bit too much kind of orange yellow there. So if I go ahead and turn on Lumetri Color, we're kind of cleaning that up as well. And now it can also be used to fix the white balance on shots where you couldn't get the white balance exactly right, or maybe it looked right in camera, and then when you get home and you're looking at the footage maybe in more of like a controlled environment, you can see there's obviously some color casting issues occurring. So in this particular case, this footage was shot a little bit too orange on purpose, and you can see I can lose Lumetri color here, and I can desaturate kind of the oranges a little bit more maybe in this case, and I can turn this on, and you can see we've essentially fixed the white balance issue, and this looks so much cleaner, giving us that kind of clean white look. Because a lot of times when you're trying to get this exactly perfect, just by using maybe the white balance here on basic correction, it won't look exactly right, so it's almost better to desaturate this footage, particularly on those problematic colors, to get better results. Let's look at another example here. So this is some footage, stock footage came just like this. This is an extreme example where it was probably intentionally shot more in a warmer tone to kind of give it that sunset appearance. But if I come in here, do Lumetri color, and I desaturate it here on the yellows, pushing that down all the way. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Cleaning up the sky, making it look more white, and we still get the oranges here for that sunset look. And you can see the before and the after. We're just giving that a much more cleaner appearance there with everything, giving us cleaner whites on our footage and correcting any white balance issues that we had. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this quick tip. Be sure to check out the other video tutorials we have over on the PremiumBeat channel. Once again, I'm Charles Yeager, and I will catch you guys on the next one.